Hey guys, it's Scott again, and in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about customer service. Now, if you would have asked me about customer service, I don't know, 8 years ago, I would have had no way to answer you something intelligent. Customer service was one of those things that just kind of stood over there. I was buying media, creating landing pages, doing the exciting stuff. And I always thought customer service was, sure, it was needed, but it wasn't that interesting. And it wasn't until we began to grow that I began to focus more on customer service and really figure out that it truly is one of the key differentiators between businesses that I find that grow, that scale, that completely implode on themselves or never come back, and those that are able to sustain themselves, grow, and scale. So customer service is something that's kind of near and dear to my heart and something that I've fallen in love with over time that really can make the difference between a business that goes out of business and one that scales. So certainly, for those of you just starting out, you probably end up being your own customer service rep. And that's really, really important that you do that because you can, from the content of the emails you get, glean a lot of information on how to make your product better. The goal for us as marketers is to lower refunds, lower chargebacks, ensure that customers say great things, they write testimonials, they refer their friends. You want to avoid bad customer service because that leads to high chargebacks, which of course will get your mids pulled and you can't get paid. Lots of complaints that might end up on the BBB. People really talking badly about your brand. So customer service is super important for those reasons, but it's also important because customers tend to be the first line of defense against something being really wrong in your business. So again, as you're growing these businesses, you're publishing new things, you're doing a lot. A lot of times we don't check on, say, the efficacy of what we're selling, and customers will tell you that something is wrong. And so the importance of doing customer service yourself out of the gate is that you can really listen to the feedback the customers are giving you. And sure, they might type in caps and they might complain and get crazy, but if you actually read what they say, that might give you kind of a list of things you can improve on in your business, right? So in our case, we had an example of an upsell that was almost too good to be true. And we were getting thousands and thousands of upsells per day. And we thought, oh my gosh, we're going to be rich. But come to find out 2 weeks later, we had this huge inflow of customer service complaints. And it turns out that people on our upsell were signing up unknowingly to a continuity program. We were billing their cards 2 weeks later. So we had this huge rash of complaints because people were saying, you didn't tell us you were going to bill our card. So that's a good example of ways where your customers can actually help shape your product to make it a lot better. Now, the goal of customer service should be to reduce chargebacks, to reduce refunds. There's tons of ways to do it. The first thing I do is really set kind of a guideline in terms of how long on average does it take for us to get back to our customers. So whatever that is, it could be a day, it could be a week, it could be an hour, but set a baseline in terms of what you're doing right now. So if you start out and you say it generally takes us about 24 hours to get back to a customer, the goal is always, how do I reduce that, right? Do I reduce that? How do I get that to 5 hours or 8 hours? And what are the ways to do that, right? It could be a lot of ways: hiring more people. It could be getting a better CRM, which allows you to answer tickets quicker. It could be setting up like automated FAQs, which direct consumers to kind of like answer their own questions. There's tons of ways to do that. But basically, you want to start by creating a baseline of what does it take for us to get back to a customer, how long, and you want to decrease that. You also want to educate your customer service staff better. So you want to make sure you have ongoing education so they learn about your products. You teach them or you give them scripts in terms of how to answer questions. You offer a very, very liberal refund policy. You want to make it pretty easy for people to refund. And refunds are hard, but what's far worse are chargebacks, because chargebacks will really get you in the doghouse. So you want to make sure it's really easy for your customers to refund product, okay? And then the second thing is you want to at all costs avoid a chargeback. And there are chargeback mitigation services out there that you can avail yourself of to keep that chargeback percentage below 1%. But basically, you want to make sure that customer service becomes kind of an asset to your business, and you're always reducing the amount of time that it takes to get back to a customer. You want to refund liberally. You want to have intelligent questions, lots of different ways. You want to put 800 numbers. You want to make it really easy for people to get a hold of you to be able to do what they're going to do. If you can do that, then I think your customers will be much happier. They're likely to buy a lot more from you. They're not going to charge back. They'll probably refund less. And there's a lot of tips and tricks and techniques that I can go into to make customer service even better from here. But these are the basics in terms of getting back to your customers. Again, if you would have asked me 8 years ago, I wouldn't have said it's that important. But oftentimes it is the make or break thing that separates the people that can scale to a certain level and maintain that, and those that grow. They have huge customer service complaints and they go away quickly. They're shut down by their mids or Visa or MasterCard or any number of people that have a problem with them, the BBB, right, as an example. So customer service is a big one. Pay attention to it. Don't ignore it. Put together very, very simple things to start to make sure your customers get answered quickly and efficiently. And we can talk about customer service in more videos down the road, but I hope that helps. Thanks.